Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
Hello.
And the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, though?
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope you've had a good week and a good weekend ahead of you. We have now emerged after... what's odd is that we've had 3 nights in a row of having Sinatra on here.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's not here. It's kind of odd. Also, 2 nights in a row of debates are over with, and we'll probably cover some more of that in the news as we proceed.
I'm still recovering.
The fallout and the extra comments from some of the candidates after the fact, like nobody ever said we want open borders.
At least 3 of you said explicitly that.
That was okay. Just Julian. Was it Julian Castro or something? Nobody said we want open borders. Like, wait. You said you wanted to decriminalize. Yeah. Anyway, we'll probably get to that later. But either way, guys, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you have not already, and please do share our stuff. Satsu, how are you doing?
Pretty good, considering the new expansion for Final Fantasy came out today, and I have been enjoying it quite a bit. It's a lot of shit has changed, and I'm like, I'll discombobulate it, but it's been fun.
You know, when are they going to get to the Final Fantasy, do you think?
Never.
Okay.
There will never be a Final Fantasy.
And Monkey, how are you doing?
Not too bad. My throat is going out on me, so if I'm
no kidding. Right. You sound like somebody turned the pitch down on you a bit.
Yeah, there's something wrong with my throat, but I'm otherwise happy. How you doing, man?
No, seriously, it sounds like someone has artificially turned the pitch down on your voice. That is weird.
Monkey, you sound way sexier than usual.
Yeah, that's how I woke up this morning.
It almost sounds like I'm talking to a different person. That's so bizarre. Or like, what's the gas that you inhale that makes your voice deeper? It's not the opposite of helium. I forget what it is, but there's an inert gas you can inhale that will make your voice go all kind of low and stuff.
Monkey swallow Barry White.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's been listening too much Barry White. So anyway, we have Shiograth says Monkey sounds black.
That's the real monkey out here.
I don't want to go there because I'll probably get a community strike or something. Anyway, do we have any? Are you guys streaming tonight by any chance? I assume you are.
Yes.
Yes.
Over on 2 cents plus, guys. After the show, Monkey and Satsu will be streaming. I'm assuming 7 Days to Die.
Yes.
All right. And I'm sure there'll be a Jack Gunsky promo in here somewhere too. But either way, thank you, Terry Diamantis. Final Fantasy War Against Unprofitability. That's the only reason they'd stop making them. No, they'd still make them. Even if they were unprofitable for a season or 3, they'd still make them. Just on the chance that there was an upswing. All right. Well, just a warning, as I had a warning yesterday on my little impromptu soapboxing. I am mildly inebriated, so that's just me giving excuses ahead of time in case I mumble through any words or anything. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, on my headphones, there's this little remote control attached to the cable, and the buttons don't have any sort of like lock on them or anything, so it hits. Like if it swings against and hits my chair or something, it can mute me, I think, without me knowing it. So I just want to make sure. Okay. So let's get into the schnuzz. So per the title, which I think is very clever, but then maybe it's only me. Trump tweets Kim Jong-un an invitation to shake his hand at the DMZ.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know he was trying to do like hooking up with world leaders that way. President Donald Trump says he's willing to meet North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un this weekend, if he travels to the highly fortified Korean Demilitarized Zone. Quote, after some very important meetings, including my meeting with President Xi of China, I will be leaving Japan for South Korea with President Moon, Trump tweeted Saturday morning from Japan. I guess it's already Saturday there. Quote, while there, if Chairman Kim of North Korea sees this, I would meet him at the border/DMZ just to shake his hand and say hello, Trump added. Trump is due to arrive in Seoul, South Korea on Saturday evening and is scheduled for talks with the South Korean president on Sunday before returning to Washington. During a brief spray with reporters, is that slang or something?
I don't know.
A brief spray.
Piss on a bunch of reporters.
Yeah, I'm assuming that is some sort of like press pool lingo, but I don't think I've read that or seen that before. During a brief spray with reporters Saturday, Trump said he, quote, put out a feeler, unquote, to Kim for a potential handshake on the DMZ in order to advance their warm friendship. Quote, all I did was put out a feeler if he'd like to meet, Trump told reporters in Japan, where he is meeting with leaders on the sidelines of the G20. Quote, he sent me a very beautiful birthday card, unquote. Was it, coated with the blood of people he's executed by any chance? Trump said he wasn't sure whether the meeting would materialize, but expressed confidence his diplomatic opening with North Korea was already yielding results. Quote, I just put out a feeler because I don't know where he is right now. He may not be in North Korea, Trump said. I said if Chairman Kim would want to meet, I'll be at the border. We seem to get along really well. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. For the stupid people who say, oh, he gets along, it's good, get along. It's good, get along, unquote. Okay. Quote, frankly, if I didn't become president, you'd be having a war right now with North Korea, Trump said. Well, we'll never know whether he's right or wrong. Quote, I will be in South Korea. I let him know, and we'll see each other for 2 minutes. That's all we can, but that will be fine, Trump said. And thank you, Terry Diamantis. Monkey Shio says, check Streamlabs.
Oh, give me just a moment here.
Sure. As Barry White Monkey checks his Streamlabs. So do you think there's actually, aside from just sort of, I guess, PR after a fashion, is there any advantage in shaking Kim's hand?
I don't know. This kind of sounds like if they knew a celebrity had like a fling in another place where they were going, they're like, you got to meet him when you get there. And he's like, I told him to come holler at me if you're out there. Like, y'all sound gay as hell.
Thank you, Shio, who says, hey, baby, come over here and twist my nips.
God, dude. Seriously, Monkey, I don't know what the hell. That sounds like you've got an artificial voice modulator going on or something. That's crazy.
No, it's just me.
When I get sick, I sound like Emperor Palpatine. But anyway, I'm not sure that Trump isn't saying that just to rile up the Democratic field right now.
Yeah,
a little bit. Like, they were talking about. I forget which debate it was. Now they've kind of melded together, but somewhere in there they were talking about how he was cozying up to dictators and everything, and like he's just trying to throw it in their face. But
could be. Just to get
RJ Bands with Scribe Light. What does Monkey sound like? Biggie? A little bit, I suppose. You know any Biggie songs, Monkey?
No, I like music.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back.
We got to get Monkey to do some rapping later on with his crazy voice. Actually, can you say something like I'm trying to think a line from Palpatine, like if only you knew the power of the dark side.
I feel like doing that particular voice would make things worse.
No, you're no fun. All right. Well, speaking of Trump, because God knows we can't avoid him, let's talk about Jimmy Carter.
Yay.
Jimmy Carter suggests Trump is an illegitimate president.
Yep, he did that today.
He waited 3 years to join the chorus of every other nutball on the left.
Yep.
Former President Jimmy Carter suggested Friday that a full investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election would show that Donald Trump didn't win the presidency. Jimmy, we had that. We spent millions of dollars and spent 2.5 years doing that. Jimmy, I don't know. I mean, maybe you missed it. And I don't have any particular antipathy towards Jimmy Carter in general. I mean, whatever he might have done as president, what he's done since in Habitat for Humanity and everything else, in my mind, kind of redeems him for any mistakes he might have made during president. But this is just a non-story, in my opinion. Quote, there's no doubt that the Russians did interfere in the election. That is so debatable, Jimmy. And I think the interference, although not yet quantified, if fully investigated, would show that Trump didn't actually win the election in 2016. He lost the election, and he was put into office because the Russians interfered on his behalf, unquote, Carter said at the Carter Center's retreat in Leesburg, Virginia. Asked if he believes Trump is an illegitimate president, Carter paused for a moment. Quote, based on what I just said, which I can't retract, Carter said to audience laughter. Jimmy, I don't know what to tell you. He was legitimately elected president.
I'm back. Sorry, what did I miss?
Jimmy Carter saying that Trump is an illegitimate president. If only they would investigate the Russian interference in the 2016 election. If only they would find out he's illegitimate. And I'm like, I think, Jimmy's been Jimmy's taken a long nap over the last 2.5 years or something. I don't know why this is a news story because, except for the fact that ex-president is saying it, I guess. I don't know.
Well, that's why, because they're like, oh, look, somebody who used to be president is saying he's illegitimate too. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense, and that he said that they should just do something that they've been doing for 2 years and have conclusively finished. That's irrelevant. Look who he is.
Yeah, and regardless of whether it's Jimmy Carter saying it or anybody else, I still have not had anybody show me evidence that anything that Russia did actually swayed any votes. That they put out ads or put out social media posts or whatever else on Facebook, Twitter, etc. I have no reason to think they didn't. Okay. But no one has yet showed me that as a result of that, there was actually any shift in electoral thinking between the beginning of 2016 and election day. Because most people, so far as I know, had made up their minds about who they were going to vote for by July or August that year. So I don't even know.
Well, I mean, they don't have to, because the people who they are appealing to doesn't care. Like if they came out and conclusively decided that, like they had zero effect on the numbers. Like we tested, we found out, we checked everything. There's absolutely zero evidence that it affected in any way. Like, people would be like, so they still tried to do it and Trump still benefited. Even if you said he didn't, perception, it was a perception or some dumb shit like that. Like it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter at all. So.
All right, let's see. Next one I've got. So when I read this headline, obviously the first, and you will see why, obviously, the first thought that came to my head was spoiled brat. Princeton graduate found guilty of murdering his father after his allowance was cut.
What?
Thomas Gilbert Jr., who was accused of killing his father after the older man cut back his weekly allowance, was found guilty Friday of murder in the second degree. Thomas Gilbert Sr., a founding managing partner of the hedge fund Wainscott Capital, was found dead in his apartment in January 2015 with a gunshot wound to the head. Gilbert's attorneys did not dispute that he killed his father, but said he was not guilty by reason of insanity. Jurors dismissed the insanity defense. They also found him guilty on 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the 2nd degree. He was found not guilty of criminal possession of forgery devices. Sentencing is set for August. The murder charge carries a sentence of 25 years to life in prison. Gilbert, 34. So at that time, he would have been, what, 30? So a 30-year-old grown man had his weekly allowance cut, and he killed his father over it. Okay. Gilbert, 34, played football at Princeton and graduated with a degree in economics. Ironic much. At the time of the shooting, he was 30 and unemployed, receiving up to $1,000 a week from his parents. Hell, that's better than whatever Yang was going to give you guys. Holy cow. Hours before Thomas Sr. was killed, he cut his son's weekly allowance to $300. Poor fucking baby. Jesus Christ. Throw that guy in a box forever.
So for everybody who truly believes that privilege does not exist, this is one of those moments where, and I'm not saying white privilege or anything, I'm just saying privilege as a concept. Yeah, this is definitely a shame.
How dare you force me to have to maybe find work? Oh no.
$300 a week. That's more than you get paid working almost like part-time at GameStop.
Oh, GameStop.
As a matter of fact, that's more than what you make. That is more than what you make. I said almost as much. That's more than what you make working part-time at GameStop.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that either one of these 2 articles. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Diesel Dave. So he was getting my paycheck for nothing. Yes, yes, for nothing. Simply for being alive, he was getting $1,000 a week. Oh, sorry, $300 a week, and he couldn't survive on $300 a week at 30 and unemployed. What a waste of space. Okay, either one of these next stories is probably going to take up a lot of talking time. So I want to give you guys the option. Do you want to talk about Trump meeting with Putin, or do you want to talk about the debate recap?
Either's fine.
Baby.
You might hear a little bit. Pumpkin. She's upstairs in the bath, and that window's close to where my window is. Give me a second.
I do hear her. And it sounds like she's singing.
Well, at first I thought it was a cat. And I was about to say, what the hell?
I thought it was Little Butt singing. All right. Well, hell, I'll do the debate. At least a partial debate reflection here. Just because we talked a little bit about it last night after the debate. What's that?
I closed the window.
Oh, okay. Joe Biden throws own campaign into turmoil after Harris attacks his record on race. Real quick, thank you, Three-Sided Coin. I'm confused. Why would he kill someone over a day's wages? Because he's a spoiled piece of shit, is what he was. And he doesn't know the value of an honest day's work, or didn't, I should say. Now he's going to go to jail for 20 years or plus. So.
He went from 1,000 to 300 to 0. Good job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now he's going to have everything will be catered for him. He'll have room and board and food, 3 squares and a cot every day.
Somebody to cuddle with.
Yeah, exactly. Some smelly inmate to cuddle with, and no privacy in a concrete box for the next 25, 30, 40, 50 years. Yeah.
Three-Sided Coin, that hurts my feelings, by the way. I got what you were saying, and it hurts.
So let's see. Joe Biden stumbled into a potential campaign-defining moment Thursday that pitched his effort to win the Democratic nomination onto suddenly shaky ground.
Because he dared to speak out against a woman. Oops.
Well, first and foremost, I'm not surprised that Biden would be put under threat immediately, because he's the top contender and there's 19 other people, at least on those stages, trying to take the spot. So why wouldn't he be pulled up on his record, whether it's legitimate or not? Reeling from an attack by a much younger rival, Kamala Harris, the 76-year-old delivered an unfortunate soundbite at the Democratic debate that threatens to symbolize his biggest political liability. Quote, "My time is up," he said, meaning to cut short one of his own answers, but instead drawing attention to a question that haunts his campaign. Has his generation's time come and gone? Wait. Okay, I know people who have a very, very advanced talent in reading between the lines of a cookbook. But my time is up. You guys.
That was not the angle I thought they were going to take.
Yeah, I was like, wait, are you not quoting him on when he responded to Harris? But yeah, as a soundbite, sure, somebody can leverage that into something else, but that's not at all what he was talking about.
Yeah, he literally said, "I'm out of time." Like,
yeah, he was running. I mean, all credit to him to a certain extent. At least he was polite enough to understand when it's like, my time is over, it's someone else's turn, whereas everybody else was talking over and jumping in. Yeah.
So basically what they're saying is him being polite and following the debate rules was a defining moment that could ruin his campaign.
Well, it's a soundbite. That's what matters. Harris's assault was breathtaking.
No.
Was it? Was it really? Appeared planned ahead of time. Well, of course it was. I mean, if she didn't actually exchange notes with Cory Booker ahead of this debate, she was paying attention to the argument between Booker and Biden prior to the debate. Let's be honest here. Appeared planned ahead of time and exposed a willingness to attack she had not previously shown in a campaign that started strong but has slumbered ever since. She hadn't had a chance to attack anybody. Everything prior to this was relatively off in the distance preamble. Everybody's waiting for the debates. So whatever she was doing prior doesn't matter. Now and forward is what is going to make the headlines, and obviously she did that. The immediate impressions left after a debate are often not how things appear a few days later. So it may be that Biden's bad night does not end up being as damaging as it first appeared. Well, we'll know by the next debate, I think. It's even possible that some voters might have been offended at the audacity of the attack by Harris on a man who has been a devoted servant of the Democratic Party for decades. And Biden, who served as vice president to the nation's first black president, well, he was as much black as he was white, by the way, just so you know. Either way, Barack Obama enjoys strong support among African-American voters, a crucial Democratic constituency. But it was easily the most compelling and memorable moment of the young 2020 campaign and leaves the ex-vice president confronting deeply uncomfortable questions about his hopes. About his hopes? Okay. Biden, on the ropes, as he's rarely been in half a century of public life, snapped his head towards Harris in disbelief as she said, quote, "Vice President Biden, I do not believe you are a racist, ... But now let me proceed to tell you why you're a racist." As soon as I heard that last night, I was like, oh shit, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't start out a sentence like that without following it up with like, well, I'm going to imply that you might be a little racist. The California senator was seizing on a recent comment by Biden in which he highlighted his work with segregationist senators in the 1970s to show he could work with people he disagreed with. Beloved by many Democrats after a lifetime overcoming personal tragedies, Biden appeared shocked and deeply hurt to be faulted on civil rights, an issue on which he's fought for decades. His struggle to respond effectively to Harris and his decision to invoke a states' rights argument with all its troubling racial connotations only compounded the damage. You know, I might be generous enough to say that his stumbling over it might be just his shock at having his record called out on that particular subject.
Well,
go ahead.
Ever since that criticism was made about Biden, when we talked about it before, him working with people who have certain belief systems or whatever, just to try to get shit done. I don't understand that, because Trump is president, and literally everybody who is in the government and has to go through him or talk to him in any form or fashion for any reason, whether it's to push a bill or do whatever, they work with the president. Like, even if you don't like what he's doing or you actively working against him, you are still working with the president. And he's a racist. So that makes all of you complacent with racism, because you're not quitting your jobs and saying, I refuse to be a politician in Trump's administration because he's a racist. No, you're all still working. So I don't even understand how that's a criticism. It just doesn't make sense to me. Unless I'm like off base or just misunderstanding something. Are they not like working technically with him or for him, so to speak? No? Yes? No?
Oh, I was waiting for Monkey.
Sure.
Okay, that's what I figured. I'm just like, I don't know.
I'm more surprised that she was offended, or he, she, whatever, was offended that, oh, how dare make a state rights argument.
Yeah, I mean, what you want the the government's supposed to like rein in everything regarding the states, and he was talking. Wasn't he talking about busing in that instance?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Biden has been trying to dispel the impression that he's been left behind by a young and diverse party that's changed under him. As the front runner, he was always going to be the biggest target, and he took fire from other rivals, including Representative Eric Swalwell of California. Oh yeah, the pass the torch thing. Not all of his performance was as bad as his exchange with Harris, but debates are won and lost in the breakout moments that can come from it. Right. Breakout moments that can come to define a candidacy. I saw the exchange between him and Harris going two different ways. On the one hand, it sounded like she was, striking at an issue that didn't make any sense to attack him on, given his record, given everything that he's done elsewise. And even the notion that, like, working with people you disagree with, that's part of trying to get shit done in politics. That's not a sin.
Yeah, and it's also what they're doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, the guys who were segregationists at that time, they were voted into office by their constituents. Whether Biden liked it or not, they were representing their constituents. And it's his job, at least in part, to try to work through the process to get things done. So how that is a criticism of Biden, as though working with segregationists thus makes him what, empathetic or associated with or sympathetic to segregationists? No.
Weren't they just complaining that Trump like walked out of a meeting and he's not trying to cooperate with us? Like, what? Yeah. Why are you trying to actively cooperate with a racist? What's wrong with you? Are you a racist?
Yeah, so on that point, Harris's argument to me that last night had absolutely no weight to it. As far as the busing thing, I'll admit, I'm no historian. I don't know the history of busing or anything else, or what she was talking about being like the second class to be whatever bust, etc. So I don't know what that's all about, but it's difficult for me to think that in the course of Biden's history, he somehow was an absolute out-and-out racist trying to keep people down. Maybe I'm mistaken. I mean, obviously opinions change and such, but it seemed like Harris was attacking a straw man in a lot of instances there, but doing so vociferously and passionately and striking while the iron was hot with what Booker had gone after Biden for the other day.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my interpretation, but all of this, honestly, everything in the last two nights of debates is going to fade away by the time we get to the next debate. So, although I will say that just as easily as Biden, the confidence in Biden's sort of front runnership has been hurt after one debate, I can't help but sort of look at him as a sort of John Kerry figure in a way. sort of like this is the compromise candidate, except he's got all these other people around him that are far more high profile and impassioned than he is.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, now my phone is beeping at me because that's tradition. Okay. Well, we are at the bottom of the hour, guys, so we're going to move on to MSS News. Chat, if you have stories you'd like us to attempt to read on the air, if I can do it without slurring my words too much, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Can't promise to get to them all. That's only because we have a tendency to rant onwards about some stories over others. Let's see. This one comes from Frosted Glass. And it's The Root. Oh, I haven't read a Root article in a while. Chris Matthews asked Kamala Harris to explain why she doesn't hate white people. Here's the answer. And I have to note that in brackets underneath this headline is the word corrected. I don't know what has been corrected. Yeah, so I assume that something was wrong. Maybe there'll be a notation somewhere in here. How long does this go on? Okay, correction. This story originally misstated Chris Matthews' last name. Oh, and has been edited correct. Okay, all right. Maybe they put in 1 T instead of 2 or something. Shortly after Senator Kamala Harris finished her cool-down exercises after forcing the former pinky to Barack Obama's brain.
Nice.
Wow.
Wow.
This is by Michael Harriot, one of our favorite friends at The Root. To Barack Obama's brain into submission with a rear naked chokehold before a live television audience. She sat down with chronic interrupter and MSNBC pundit Chris Matthews to explain how she acquired the can of whoop ass she opened and poured over former Vice President Joe Biden during Thursday's Democratic debate. During the interview, which focused on how Harris dealt with segregation, systematic inequality, and the experience of having her white friends' parents shun her because of her race, Matthews posed the most revealing question of the night, quote, "This is really important to people of all background and ethnicities. I don't like the word race," Matthews began. "How do you come out of that and not have hate toward white people generally?" Unquote. Okay. Flabbergasted at first, really, Harris quickly gathered herself and informed Matthews that, quote, "most Americans do not conduct themselves that way," unquote, before explaining that one experience doesn't necessitate hate. I've heard different from individuals, Kamala. I hate to tell you this. Not everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it constitutes the majority, but a lot of people express themselves that way. Anyway, quote, "But we cannot deny that there are too many children, black children in America, who have had that experience," said Harris. "Children of color who have had that experience, be they Latino, Asian, or black, that happens in America," unquote. What happens? She didn't say. Although Matthews doesn't seem to understand that there is a distinct difference between race and ethnicity, Irish, Jewish, well, he said background and ethnicity, and background is a synonym these days, as I've learned from every diversity corporate video I've watched, as a code word synonym for race, without saying race, because then you hedge into equal employment law. But that's just me. I don't know. Although Matthews doesn't seem to understand that there's a distinct difference between race and ethnicity, Irish, Jewish, and even many Hispanic people belong to the racial group we call white people, even though they all have different ethnicities. Irish, Jewish, and even many Hispanic people. Okay. His question exposed a revealing fact about a default way of thinking that is unfathomable to white America. Racism is a choice. What?
What?
Well, wait a minute.
How's that unfathomable?
How? Okay, this is the author continuing. There are xenophobia and bigotry in every society that has ever existed. Okay. But racial intolerance, hate, and prejudice as they exist in America are not the result of long-held grievances. They are an intergenerational inheritance preserved and packaged by parents and passed down to their heirs.
I mean,
There,
yeah, that's not. I wouldn't disagree with that. But
there are there are children who renounce the legacy of racism, just as there are some who reject the religion, morals, and abuse of their forebears. Sure, okay. I'm kind of confused as to how that relates back to what Matthews said. Matthew's question wasn't offensive or even demeaning. It was enlightening in its audacious presumption that hate is a perfectly reasonable response to oppression.
What?
Wait. That is all I hear these days.
Okay. Can I rant, please?
Oh, of course. Go ahead.
Okay, so from the moment you started reading this, I immediately started getting red flags because I'm just like, wait a minute. We have been told from the very beginning that racism isn't a choice. Like, it's in white people's DNA. It is something that they created. It is exclusive to them, and it is something that is unavoidable. Just existing as a white person makes you a contributor to racism, period. And I've also been told that not only is it justifiable, but it's also encouraged in a lot of activist circles to hate white people as a necessity to survive as a black person in America. So what the fuck is this motherfucker talking about?
I could be mistaken. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of searching here, but I may be wrong. But I would not be surprised if Michael Harriot has not written articles or editorials in the past which either stated explicitly or implicitly that racism is endemic to white people.
Yep.
Didn't he say something like that in that article? This is the dude who wrote that shit about his daughter, right?
Yes. Where he has to warn his daughter about, real quick, thank you, James Colley. Monkey sounds like he is in witness protection. Is this on purpose? Well, you'll have to ask YouTube. And by the way, Scribe, interrupt yourself. LOL. Well, sorry, didn't quite happen that way, but there you go. Okay, well, that's one article. I'm going to move on because as I warned, guys, we have a tendency to go on about something. Okay, that we talked about Kamala and Biden. Oh, sure, why not? This one comes from Quinn Harrison. Yeah, sure. I mean, if you can have a thesis paper based on a rap album, you can do this too. University offers PhD scholarship in heavy metal.
Yeah.
The University of Newcastle, Australia, is offering a PhD scholarship to study the social geography of heavy metal. The problem most metal fans have with education is that, well, it rarely relates to heavy metal. Sure, sometimes schools will teach their students about metal things, like the Civil War, Antonin Artaud, this must be an Australian thing, or pretty much everything that any noble ever did in ancient Rome, but there are very few classes specifically about killer riffs. And yet a university in Australia is now offering a PhD in the social geography of heavy metal culture, and there's even a scholarship for it. The University of Newcastle in Australia is offering a scholarship of $27,596 per annum. Assumedly, that's Australian dollars, meaning 19,232 United States dollars, to 2 domestic students and 1 international student to study social geographies across a series of cultures. The subjects being studied are homelessness and mutual aid, vegan geographies, unschooling, and the possibilities of childhood. I have no idea what that means. And of course, heavy metal geographies, which sounds more like a geological PhD. So what would this study entail? According to the course description on Anarchist Geographies, the group running the program, quote, while unique scenes have evolved across the globe, the bulk of heavy metals bands have originated within countries in the northern latitudes. Australia is uniquely positioned within this global evolution owing to its historical connection to the United Kingdom and shared cultural affinities with its colonial originator. Why is my phone beeping again? My phone never beeps twice. Oh, it's my sister. Okay. That's fine. Sure. If you can get free $20,000 US to study heavy metal, by all means. Thank you, Snubbirth. Lord. Long grievances? Bull. Most racists I see nowadays are a mix of growing up in the environment or reactionaries to the current effects of the culture war. They are ignorant white nationalists have been parodying their model. They are ignorant white nationalists have been parodying their model. Yeah, I don't know. I don't disagree with some of what Michael Harriot was saying there. However, he is entirely contradicting any number of other statements and editorials he's made in the past about the inherent nature of racism to white people, that it's not a choice, that you are simply participating in it by default if your skin color is of a particular shade.
Right.
That is the big contradiction. So, I mean, if I took his article, or at least that portion that I read, all by itself in isolation, I would have a hard time arguing with him because, yes, racism is a choice. You can choose or not choose to follow in your forefathers' footsteps if they taught you some way of thinking elsewise. But that's not what he has promoted in the past. So I don't know if he's doing that in order to simply contradict Chris Matthews in some way, in an opportunistic fashion. I have to assume so, because otherwise nothing he said in the past makes any sense.
Yeah, I have no idea.
We have a birthday. It is the Avro Wolf birthday. Could we please sing to her?
Sure.
I think Monkey should sing Barry White all by himself, because I don't want to run over that voice.
I can't even hear a real difference with my voice, but who is it?
Avrowolf.
Avrowolf? Avrowolf, I hear it's your birthday. And around here, we do this in a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Avrowolf.
Don't throw your panties.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
I was hoping to go like full Barry White, like, happy birthday, baby, to you.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
To the cool side of the pillow.
Yeah, the cool side of the pillow. All right, we're going to move on. Oh, no. It's Desmond is amazing. Oh, God.
Did you guys see that shit on Twitter?
No, this is the first I'm seeing this. This comes from Massive Dynamics.
Oh.
Pedophile and convicted child porn peddler says Desmond is amazing, is hot. Aside from the shock value of that headline, given the predilection of the individual, are we surprised by this?
You need to read the quote by Desmond.
Okay. An admitted pedophile and convicted child porn... Sorry, guys, my phone is beeping again. It's my sister again. 1 second. Sorry, guys. 1 sec. Okay. An admitted pedophile and convicted child porn peddler has written an article in which he describes Desmond is amazing, the 12-year-old drag queen kid, as hot. I think I'm going to be sick just reading this. Tom O'Carroll is the former chairman of the now disbanded Pedophile Information Exchange, or PI. Is this real? A group that once campaigned for the age of consent to be lowered to 4 years old. Is this, honestly, is this real?
Would it surprise you, really?
He was also a prominent member of the International Pedophile and Child Emancipation. In December 2006, O'Carroll was jailed for 2.5 years for conspiring to distribute a cache of child pornography obtained from his co-defendant, which contained 50,000 indecent images. O'Carroll has repeatedly campaigned for the normalization of sexual relations with children and sees nothing wrong with pedophilia. In a blog post published to WordPress last month, O'Carroll wrote about his admiration for Desmond is Amazing, the 12-year-old drag queen kid who has repeatedly been given a sympathetic platform by the mainstream media. In an article titled Desmond is Truly Amazing and Hot, Carroll writes, quote, I honestly, guys, I'm getting ill just reading this shit. I really do not want to continue.
If I can find the quote here.
Yeah, if you have whatever this quote is from the kid, then yeah, I don't really want to know. I really don't want to know, honestly. Thank you, Citron. We need another crusade. Deus Vult. Okay. Thank you, Snubberth. Googled, it's real. RIP. Okay, great. Wonderful. All right. Well, Satsu looks for whatever quote Desmond is Amazing had to give. Let's move on to senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier, giving us an article from The Mirror. Razor company praised for advertisement with women showing off pubic and armpit hair. Okay, Razor brand, and now a video is playing. Go away. Razor brand Billy, never heard. It must be a British thing. Have released a new campaign to tackle the pressures of being summer ready. The company is this a British thing? Okay. The company are encouraging women to love themselves and embrace their body hair if they so desire, or reach for one of their products if they'd prefer. Their latest advert is thought to be the first to feature women showing off their pubic hair and has been praised by hundreds online for trying to end stigma around body hair. Okay, body hair aside, these pictures are just simply unattractive. To me, anyway. I mean, everybody's got their own thing, I suppose. Obviously, I'm from a pedigree where there's a lot of different people who like a lot of different things, but wearing your bikini bottoms and having a forest of hair peeking out around all the edges isn't attractive to me. I don't know about you guys.
So wait, a company that sells razors,
yes,
is helping promote not shaving.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting,
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Please don't buy our product. You're much better without it, or something, I guess.
Well, maybe it's because of the general consensus that women are idiots, where they're just like, you're beautiful with that shit, but still buy our products and shave, because you know that that's untrue. But I'm saying it right now, so pick us to buy your razors when you inevitably shave anyway.
I guess.
Right after this.
Okay. Well,
I found actually, this isn't a direct quote from any of the kids, but he said, being a drag queen or a drag princess, if you will, puts it right out there in the open for all to see. It says loud and proud, I am a sexy kid with sexy feelings. It's totally cool for grown-ups to get turned on by me, and I love it. That's why I do this stuff. It's great.
Who said that?
He said he was saying like the general air of seeing.
No. Who said that? Was it Desmond?
I don't know it. I don't think it was a quote from Desmond. It doesn't say said anyone. It just said he was complimenting, or I guess championing, the fact that there is a rise of young boys doing this stuff.
Sorry,
Tom, what is it? Tom O'Carroll?
No, the pedophile was speaking on behalf of the little boys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck that guy.
I'm just like, dude.
Okay. I'm done. I'm done with that. Okay, moving on, guys. Sorry, I mean, this came up just like earlier this week or whatever. I think it was Ian Miles Chong or somebody resurrected the TEDx talk about pedophilia.
Oh yeah, you know who just got a TEDx talk?
Oh, it's Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Yeah, and I tagged Tailed Feature because I think it was it Shelley? I think it was. I could be mistaken. Anyway, somebody tagged me in a tweet about that TED Talk. I don't think it's a TEDx talk. I think it's a TED Talk.
It's a TED Talk.
Where it's like Scribe Light's brain is going to have an aneurysm. And I was like, I think this is Tailed Features territory because, and this is a little known fact. Very few people know this. So far as I know, Tailed Feature was the very first person within our general sphere to present queer kid stuff to the masses. I think his was one of the, if not the first commentary video on queer kid stuff that ended up in the sort of commentary market, let's say. And so as soon as I saw that, I was like, I think this is Tail's territory. So I'm looking forward to whatever he ends up doing with that. And apparently, I inadvertently gave him the title for his video whenever he does it. I put in hashtag Save TED D because it's a TED Talk, capital letters. Anyway, thank you, James Colley. Really, average Joe's style of advertising? What? Just not shaving? Yeah. Like, okay, don't buy our product, don't shave, but if you decide to use our product. And thank you, Point Curation. End the sexualization of minors. It's awful. To this moment, it boggles me that statement even needs to be made. I just did that video like last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever on the latest Desmond is Amazing thing, and I was just like, why is this even something that the mainstream is promoting in any way, shape, or form? I don't get it. Anyway, moving on. Oh, sorry.
Progressive Scribe.
Thank you, Snubbirth. Drag started out hypersexual and comedic. LGBTQ isn't going to rewrite the hypersexual label overnight, and this shows this. Yeah, that video where Desmond is saying, drag isn't sexual or something, or it was either him or his mother or somebody in that video saying drag isn't sexual. It's like drag is inherently sexual. Yeah, I don't know who. I mean, if the kid made that statement, I want to make this clear. I hold Desmond blameless. He is a 12-year-old, and honestly, he's been doing this for like 3 or 4 years now. So, I mean, supposedly the story goes that he saw RuPaul's drag race or whatever it was when he was 2. This has been going on for years. That kid has been brainwashed by the affirmation and validation of adults that don't seem to understand what they're doing for years now. So I worry about how that kid is going to grow up and what's going to end up anyway. This looks like it might be a positive story, so let's go for that. This one comes from Crop Failure. Whoever Crop Failure is.
Before you start, you got a super chat, I think. Wait, I think you got that one already.
Yeah, okay. I heard about this morning at my office, actually. One of my coworkers is talking about this. Teen hailed a hero after catching a toddler falling from a second-story window. A young Algerian man is being hailed a hero after a video of him catching a young girl who fell from a second-floor window of a Turkish building has gone viral. I'm going to fuck up this name. I apologize. Fuzi Zabat, 17, was walking down a street in the Fatih district of Istanbul last week when he saw a little girl play near an open window. CCTV footage that has since gone viral shows Zabat in a yellow shirt standing in the street watching as he appears to sense imminent danger. Then, as quickly as he first saw the girl, he holds his hands up in anticipation and amazingly catches the toddler, who was later identified as as 2-year-old Syrian girl Doha Muhammad. Quote, I was just walking in the road and I saw the little girl in the window. She fell, and thanks to God, I caught her before she hit the ground. The young girl who stumbled out of the window while her mother was cooking wasn't injured. Her thankful family gave about 200 liras, or $35 United States, USA Today reported. Well, that's not nearly enough, but that's beside the point. Good on him, and thank goodness that little girl is fine.
Yeesh.
And keep an eye on your kids, and don't have open windows on upper floors without some kind of grate or gating. Just saying. Just an idea. Ay, caramba. Okay. We'll do one more here. And now I've lost the. How did I lose that? Oh, I see what happened. Okay. I clicked on the story and it took me back to the main page. This Twitter interface now, they have just messed with it. Thank you, James Colley. No celebration dance for catching the kid? I don't know.
The only reason I like the new interface is because it lets me switch through my freaking accounts very easily, like my phone did. But other than that, it's annoying.
Okay. Is that a news story? No, that's an ad. Sorry, guys. Trying to find one more here just to close this out. Oh, okay. This one comes from The Reaper. People did send us stories over the course of the two debate days that we didn't get to, so sorry, guys. Clint Eastwood ignores Alyssa Milano, set to start filming in Georgia despite boycott.
Yep. Go Clint.
Despite the Alyssa Milano-led Hollywood boycott of Heartbeat State, Georgia, iconic actor and director Clint Eastwood is set to start filming his newest project in the state this summer. After passing a heartbeat bill, which bans abortion in almost all cases after a fetal heartbeat is detectable, Georgia, which has become the third largest film production state in the country, has become the target of a boycott effort endorsed by scores of Hollywood celebs. Leading the charge to pull film production out of the state is outspoken progressive activist Alyssa Milano, who helped generate a protest movement among her colleagues. But as NBC News affiliate WCNC reports, one big name that is apparently not inclined to follow Milano's progressive movement is Eastwood. Quote, legendary actor Clint Eastwood says he will start production on The Ballad of Richard Jewell this summer. Holy cow. You guys remember who Richard Jewell is, don't? I know Monkey probably does.
Yeah.
Satsu probably doesn't.
I have no idea.
So at the was it the 96 Olympics?
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay, I could be off by a couple of years. But anyway, the Olympic Park bombing in Atlanta, it was Eric Rudolph, who was a sort of separatist militia, whatever nut job. He planted a pipe bomb at the Olympics. And Richard Jewell, a guy who was working security, he spotted the suspicious package before it went off, started clearing people from the area before it went off. But by the time it went off, it still killed, I believe, at least one person and injured several others. But after the fact, Richard Jewell was singled out as a suspect by the media and the police, and his entire name, reputation, and life was absolutely destroyed. Even though he was the guy that was the hero of the situation, they immediately zeroed in on him as a potential suspect just because he was in proximity or something. It was ridiculous. This guy had his life literally ruined. He got several lawsuits paid off after the fact, especially when they figured out it was Eric Rudolph. But I don't think he ever really recovered. So that'll be interesting. I like most of Clint Eastwood's movies. So that'll be an interesting movie. Anyway, not much else to say. You know, Clint Eastwood saying "fuck you." I'm gonna film where I want to film.
I like how he ignored her. It's like,
Yeah.
who the fuck is she? Like,
Yeah.
She don't get to tell people what to do.
Compared to Clint Eastwood, she's nothing. Like absolutely nothing Alyssa Milano has done in her professional career comes even close to like a single Eastwood performance in my book. So yeah, he's got every right. And besides, he doesn't give a shit. And did you see Gran Torino? He doesn't give a shit.
Oh yeah.
It's a great movie. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for all the stories. Really do appreciate it. We're going to move on to YouTube time. I'll go first. I've only done one thing. Last night, or yesterday, I guess, before the debate, I did a sort of impromptu, brief Scribe soapbox regarding the father and daughter who drowned in the Rio Grande, because that story was still just scratching at my brain all day yesterday, and I sort of vented on that for a little bit. Elsewise, that is all I've got. I've looked at several different videos today. Like before, I watch a lot of stuff that in the olden days I probably would have immediately jumped on, but it's all so repetitive of things I've done in the past that really finding something that grabs my brain and gets me scripting or reacting to it is tough. I'm still considering trying to figure out something to do that's completely different on my non-author dark channel. Not quite sure what to do with that yet. I don't think I'm going to go the creepypasta route. I'm not as well versed in that stuff as like a Sinatra is, but I'm thinking of something else in the realm of darker or different. I'm not quite sure yet. So that's all I've got. Satsu, what have you been up to?
Well, mostly playing Final Fantasy and recording a shit ton of footage for this game. I got all kinds of stuff coming out for this, locations of all the Aether Currents and all the story beats and who to talk to for what. I'm just recording everything at this point, just so I can like sift through and I got a comical series that I plan on doing with just the walkthrough for the story mode stuff. Outside of that, me and Squishy did a video for the cooking channel that I'm going to be putting up. Also got a new ramen video coming out that I'm going to put up. I'm going to try my best to make Salisbury steak for the first time, because I've never, like, for whatever reason, growing up, always eating it like pre-made or pre-cooked, it never occurred to me that people actually make that at home, like for themselves. It just like hit me out of nowhere. I'm just like, I want to try to make that. So I got that planned. So a lot of stuff, guys. I told you I've been very, very, very busy working on a lot of projects, and I already got like 6 videos in the queue that'll be uploading throughout the week. So yeah, been a busy boy.
All right, Monkey.
Let's see. I got my streaming rights back, so I streamed last night. We did a gaming stream on my channel. Then I did my Monkey in the Morning, and then I finished the video I've talked about a couple of times. The one on E. Jean Carroll and how fucking retarded CNN handled that whole situation. Which, by the way, as of yesterday, they were still writing articles about that and putting it up on their site.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any creative person out there, I just want you to clip that audio of Monkey just then and overlay it with one of those someone cast completely in shadow things from like a crime documentary, because he really does sound like somebody who's having his identity obscured. I know Monkey maybe can't hear it from himself, but really, Monkey, it honestly sounds like an artificial voice modulation. It's so creepy.
Yeah, like I said, I can tell there's something wrong with my voice, because it started last night during the was it the game stream? Yeah, probably the game stream.
You know what you should do? You should get in touch with Sinatra quick and see if there's any narration he needs for a creepypasta that you could read for him.
Actually, being that it's like getting sick, I should probably stop talking.
Well, yeah, but I mean, these opportunities only come along once in a while. So just saying, you can make something of it. This is Kyle says chocolate rain. All right. On to fuckatry time then. Oh, sorry, Monkey, were you done? I apologize.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Fuckatry. I think I had a couple of things. First off, so I don't know who this person is. Caroline Rothstein, internationally touring writer, poet. She works for BuzzFeed, I guess. She's got a blue check mark. Anyway, she said something brilliant. She said, "Am I the only person who worries, literally mid-masturbation, that fantasizing about someone I don't actually know, like a celebrity crush, or someone I do know, but with whom I've never hooked up, breaches the terms of energetic consent? Anyone else ever think
What the
about this?"
fuck? What
And
is energetic consent?
I don't know, but my response was, well, I can only hope that somehow my erotic thoughts are able to reach out through the mystic chords of memory and alert Lilith Lust in any way, shape, or form. Lilith Lust being a redhead porn star that I have a liking of. Just, she's nice looking. She's easy on the eyes, let's say. The other thing, well, I talked to Tailed about the Lindsay video. Then there was this. I responded to a response, which is kind of awkward. So I'll read. It's a brief little chain, but I'll read this. Someone tweeted out this this sequence of words. Let's say, immigrant and white, you're still white. Disabled and white, you're still white. Female and white, you're still white. Queer and white, you're still white. Trans and white, you're still white. Poor
Noticing
and
a
white,
pattern.
you're still white. Marginalized and white, you will always have white privilege. Okay, and then this person responded thus: I believe this is the wrong way to take on inequality. There's different ways to go about this. Okay, and in response to that, someone posted an infographic that read, white privilege doesn't mean your life hasn't been hard. It means that your skin color isn't one of the things making it harder. Okay, and the person that criticized the initial post said this: I fully agree with you. The tweet I responded to doesn't seem to reflect this. I still feel there is a better way to go about solving inequality, and we should be working together. This tweet seems to separate people based on who they are. And so I responded in this way: how does the infographic express any different a sentiment than the original post? To be white means that neither your successes or failures are as meaningful because you're handed the former and insulated from the effects of the latter. Or have I missed something? Now, no response was forthcoming, but that's what I said. Thank you, Cryptic. More like Lilith Thrust. Am I right? Ha 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 ha. I won't go crude on it. I won't go crude. Other people can do that. Lilith Thrust is just really, she's really nice looking. And the last thing I'll talk about, the New York Times put out this little tweet. The candidates in the second U.S. Democratic debate spent more time discussing civil rights and spent less time on jobs and the economy. And I said, probably because trying to argue that things are terrible when they're demonstrably not is a no-win strategy. Instead, they reveled in the fiction of there being a presidential edict that can solve everything and give voters everything forever without cost. So that is my internet fucketry as it is today. So Satsu, what do you got?
Not much. I did not spend a lot of time. I did see that article about that fucking weirdo and the Desmond thing.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there wasn't much. I mean, I put up a post earlier that said, can anybody tell me any nation that has completely open borders and is offering full health care and $1,000 a month to anybody who crosses them? Because I don't know if there are any. And Jeff Holiday responded, "Who suggested that?" And I didn't respond because I'm just like, this bait says bait on it. So I just walked away.
You should have said Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Yeah. I realized that I typed and like and combined all those three together as if I was talking about all three. So that's how he probably read it, or he read it that way because that's how I typed it. But I think I meant or, like with it, like any country that has 100% open borders, or like free healthcare to literally anybody who crosses there, or tells everybody like, hey, you move here, you get $1,000 a month just to exist in our country. That's what I meant to type, but regardless, none of those things exist anywhere else as far as I know, rather individually or together. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't get into much because I was busy a lot of the day.
All right, Monkey.
I didn't get into much, if anything. Hang on.
Oh, and bye, Sarah Plyer.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye, Sarah. Why is this taking so long to load? I'm just going to talk in a deeper voice to fuck with y'all.
There you go.
Seriously, it's taking forever to load. Sorry, guys. I'm trying.
Can you say?
Super chat,
can you say this is CNN?
This is CNN.
All right.
I did that in my video today.
Three-sided coin. Thank you. The UK. When I broke my arm as a kid, there it was covered free. Yes, that is true. That can happen if you are even if you're a tourist. That can happen.
Yeah, but would you have had, if you stayed there, would you have had like universal free healthcare, like indefinitely?
Oh,
I don't know. Do they have universal healthcare in the UK? I don't know.
Well, they have
NHS.
The NHS.
Oh, okay.
So basically, excuse me. Oh, there was a crazy bitch who wrote the post to her dad.
Oh,
her dad said, yeah. Happy birthday to my little girl. I think about you often. I hope all is well. And she replied basically, go fuck yourself. You don't give me agency. How dare you call me your little girl?
And didn't she say some shit like until you like renounce Trump or some shit like that or something?
Yeah, it was nonsense. And then she went on to whine that people were in her private business. Like, bitch, you put it on the internet.
Dude, there is nothing that irks me more than people who fucking stand in a public space with a megaphone and yell out something that they deem to be personal. And every other comment of people saying, I support it, I agree with it, I know what you mean, is welcome. But the moment somebody says, yeah, that's stupid, they're like, why are you all up in my fucking business? Nobody asked for your opinion. I'm like, you're full of shit.
I was just told my voice is freaking somebody's dog out. Sorry about that.
Woof, woof, woof.
Here, doggy.
I'm going to talk even deeper just to fuck with you.
All right.
Yeah, that's the only thing I saw. Sorry, there wasn't much going on today, really.
Yeah, it was. It was mostly overlap with the debate stuff, so there wasn't really anything new.
Yeah,
and we talked the fuck out of the debates, man.
Yeah, we did.
I saw a lot of hot takes from like other politicians and shit about what the candidates said. There's a lot of bloopers and shit reels.
Data Wasteland asks, Monkey, will you say Luke? It's like no, I am your father.
I am your father.
Very nice. That was actually pretty good.
Pretty damn good.
Okay, now just for me, with some feeling, say, if only you knew the power of the dark side.
Oh my god!
See, I feel like doing that's going to fuck up my voice because the Emperor has that.
No, don't raspy. It's Darth Vader. It's deep and resonant.
If only you knew the power of the dark side. Oh, I went a little British there, Dan. Sorry.
That was fine. That was fine. That's cool. All right, guys, you got some sound clips to play with now.
You knew the power of my penis.
Do it.
If only you knew the power of the BBC. All right. Let's do a Mad Lib.
Yay.
Because that's like the thing now. So chat.
Sure, why not?
We're going to do a Mad Lib. You get to participate. potentially. Well, you all get to participate, but whether or not I pick your stuff, it's limited to 3. So this is what I need from you guys. And be sure to put each one of your suggestions into an individual chat message tagged with the kind of word that I need so I can find it easily. So what I need from you guys is, oh, this is weird. So, because there's a section here where like they need the same word done twice. So I'm just going to combine it into one. Okay, so I need a plural noun, one plural noun, a state. I'm assuming a state in the United States, but feel free to interpret that a geographical, let's say,
Location.
Location of a state of some kind, and a type of liquid. So a plural noun, a state, and a type of liquid.
Monkey spooge.
Yeah, all right. Well, maybe that'll come up. So first off, Satsu, I need an adjective.
Not disappointed.
Okay. Monkey, I need an adverb.
Deeply.
I knew it.
Here we go. Satsu, I need a male celebrity.
Let's do Donald Trump. Just for
All
kicks.
right. Sure. Monkey, I need a nationality.
Mexican.
Mexican. All right. Satsu, I need a noun.
Taco Supreme.
Okay. Monkey, I need a noun.
Mm-hmm.
We got nouns for days coming up for the next 3 or 4 things, so just keep your nouns.
Okay. French fries.
Okay. Satsu, I need a noun.
Canned beets.
It's got food on the mind here. Monkey, I need a noun.
Liver spots.
Oh, nice change up there. And Satsu, I need a noun.
Tasmanian tiger.
Okay. That's interesting. And lastly, Monkey, I need a place.
Oh, let's see. Outhouse.
All right. Now I move on to chat because there's a 2 for 1 here because they asked for the same word twice effectively. So plural noun. Plural noun. Scrolling up. Sorry, guys. 1 second here. Ebony Williams says blueberries. Okay, sure. Why not? Since we're on a food kick. All right. And then I need a state. I wonder what Random American says denial. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. And then lastly, a type of liquid. Cannibal caretaker. Horse sperm. Sure.
Horse sperm?
Horse sperm.
Okay.
All right. This one is called Paul Revere.
Boy.
With horse sperm, this is going to be good.
Oh, God. Paul Revere was born in Boston, Denial, in 1735. His father taught him to work with metals, and he soon became a disappointed taco supreme.
Nice.
He was a soldier in the French and Mexican War and was at the famous Boston French fries party when Americans dressed as Indians dumped tons of horse sperm into the ocean. On April 18th, 1775, Paul Revere waited in outhouse for a signal light from a church tower. The signal was to be 1 if by canned beets, 2 if by liver spots. When he got the message, he mounted his faithful Tasmanian tiger and rode off deeply. On the way, he kept yelling, "The blueberries are coming! The blueberries are coming!" This was the beginning of the American War for Independence from King Donald Trump.
Well played.
All right, I'm going to save that one to post.
That worked.
That worked fairly well. All right, so let's do one more. We got time. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Okay, let me. Then, of course, the always the challenge is trying to pick one I haven't already picked in the past. Oh, let's do another historical one just for the hell of it. Okay, so chat. Here's what I need from you. I need a noun. I need an occupation, and I need a past tense verb. Okay, a noun, an occupation, and a past tense verb. Monkey, I need an adjective.
Crunchy. We haven't done that in a while.
That's true. Satsu, I need an adjective.
Smelly.
All right. Monkey, I need an exclamation.
Midgets.
All right. Satsu, I need a noun. It's just noun. It's all nouns after this, guys. So just have your nouns ready. Satsu, I need a noun.
Let's see.
Obviously, the freakier will be the better over the course of time.
Right. Spaghetti noodle.
Spaghetti noodle. All right.
Spaghetti.
That's spaghetti. Monkey, I need a noun.
Herpes scar.
Oh, my.
Jesus Christ. Satsu, I need a noun. Sorry.
Rotted corpse.
Rotted corpse. Monkey, a noun.
Anal fissure.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, boy.
Oh my God, this is gonna be bad. Satsu, a noun.
Old dentures.
Old dentures. That actually might work for this. Monkey, a noun.
Aborted fetus.
Oh Lord. And lastly, Satsu, a noun.
Rotten cheese.
Rotten corpse and rotten cheese. All right. All right, chat. I need a noun. Jack Gunsky says blue Smurf. Sure, why not? Occupation. Chat, give me an occupation. Prospero says window liquor. Sure.
Yeah.
And lastly, past tense verb. Sorry, skip another. What? The captain's dog says aroused by own mother.
What was that for? For
past tense verb? That's a long. Does that count?
I feel like aroused would be.
Okay, I'll use aroused. I'm not going to use all the. Yeah, okay, that might be enough. All right, so this one's called George Washington.
Oh, what did I do?
George Washington, the father of our spaghetti noodle, was a very crunchy man. When George was a smelly boy, he took his herpes scar and chopped down his father's favorite cherry rotted corpse.
Oh.
Oof.
Midgets, said his father. Who has aroused my anal fissure?
That is the best line ever.
That is right up there with the Wolverine one where it was like he was wildly unfuckable.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna just to have it clear one, I'm gonna start that one from the top. Who has aroused my anal fissure?
Then you gotta do it with the midgets.
Then he saw George holding a sharp old dentures in his hand. Father, said George, I cannot tell a lie. I did it with my little aborted fetus.
Oh my God.
His father smiled and patted little George on the rotten cheese. You are a very honest blue Smurf, he said, and someday you may become the first window licker of the United States.
Oh my
Nice.
God.
That was a good one.
He patted him on the smegma.
Oh, God. That was, oh, Lord. That was great. Yeah, guys, thank you so much. Hell, we got 5 minutes. I could do it now. Should I do another one, or should I just jump into chat time? What do you think?
Let's jump into chat time. We every time we do too many of them, it starts to like the last one. It's like, whomp.
Okay, all right. Let me save these off real quick so I can post them later. Who has aroused my anal fissure? Jesus.
If we ever get a Lords of the Night website, we need to have an entire page dedicated to Metal.
All right, guys. It is chat time. If you have questions, comments, complaints, conspiracy theories, predictions on who will not make it to the next debate, insofar as they won't qualify, or I don't even know what else is going on in the world right now. So my mind has been so filled up with politics the last 2 nights. And it really was kind of like the Super Bowl. I really had a good time with you guys and Sinatra. Just basically kicking back and like not having format and just sort of having fun.
Yeah.
It was fun, but by the end of last night, man, I was just worn out.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was. It's like all my energy is kind of, at least I noticed this over the 2 nights, really energetic for like the first hour or so. And then as the questions and the answers became more sort of blah, I kind of went, eh. I think it's when Rachel Maddow shows up, all my energy is just gone. I don't care anymore. Yeah, but if you guys have questions for us, please put plenty of chat marks after your questions. If you have statements for us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. Frosted Glass says, Monkey, can you say everybody loves Raymond?
Everybody loves Raymond.
Pyrus Creed will follow Blonde's lead and donate to Desmond's legal fees when he kills his parents. Oh, let's not. I don't even want to joke about what that kid's going to turn out to be with all the shit going on. I hope he grows out of that phase, wises up, and leads a healthy life. But I am worried for that child, especially given what little I saw of his mother and her attitude towards the whole thing in that video I did.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, anyway. Sassy Ghost says, Ranting Monkey, are you holding someone hostage for $15,000? Because your voice modulator says yes.
No, not at all. But
No
thanks
one
for
knows.
asking.
No one nowhere says, are we at war with Iran yet? Not yet. Give it a day, maybe. Slovenly Gulf City American Scribe Light. It's actually called Final Fantasy because when they made the first one, they were going bankrupt, and that game saved the company. Is that true, Satsu? Do you know that?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
But how would they know it saved the company?
Yeah, why would they call it Final Fantasy if they thought the company was just going to be
their last game? Like that was supposed to be the last game they had ever made because they were like, that's it.
But then it did super well. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Mono Winter, Lords of the Night, what do you think of Yang's mic being shut off at times during the debates? Was it?
That's what was said, and everybody was showing the clip. But I don't know.
That's what he's claiming. I don't know.
Red Chaos Stream. My neighbor makes phone calls through her car's Bluetooth. Would it be rude of me to join the conversation? I can hear her while inside my apartment. Yes.
What happens?
Like you can pick up her phone calls over your Bluetooth?
No, it's just like some people when they're in their car, they use their Bluetooth and their conversation comes through their car radio. And I hate when people do that because they'll have like their window down and they're just like talking and you can hear the person they're talking to. It's like, You didn't want anybody to hear this conversation. You're sure doing a bad job at not fucking broadcasting it to the neighborhood.
Just occasionally say something.
Let's see. Adonis Bartolote? I'm probably fucking that up. I apologize. I just became 25, Scribbles. Can I get a birthday song?
Adonis, it's your birthday.
Yeah, it's your birthday.
And now it's time for us to sing to you.
Yes, it is time to sing to you.
And a 1. And a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Scribe had too much cake.
Happy birthday to you.
And now he's fat.
Happy birthday, dear Adonis.
You're gonna fuck up your voice, monkey.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. I hope you had a wonderful one. And you're right, Satsu, that actually hurt my throat a little bit. Fuck.
Let's see. El Vaquero 555. Desmond's father is creepier than his mom. I haven't seen his father yet. I only saw his mother. If he was in that video I didn't get that far into it because I just got ill watching it, but I saw enough of his mother. Holy cats. Ebony Williams Scribe. Has anyone told you that you have a nice laugh? I don't know if that has ever specifically been said. And now my phone is beeping at me again. Why?
I've been told I have a nice penis.
I have been told that. I was told once. I was told once by it was a situation where it was a girl that I had met in college, and she was one of those girls where I thought she's so far out of my league, nothing will ever happen, right? And we were friends more or less. But there was a time briefly where we got intimate, and she told me that I had the perfect penis, and I was
Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you guys about the one ex-girlfriend that I had, one of my first exes, or whatever, who assured me on several occasions. She was like, "Yeah, I don't know why you think that when I give you head, it's for you. It's for me." I was just like, "Oh, I don't have any complaints, but." Whatever. If that's how you feel, but yeah,
don't starve yourself.
She used to worship it. I'm like, you are weird, man.
This is Kyle says, if you could have a fictional story produced, what kind of genre would it be, and what media would you want it produced in?
Oh God. I porn on a Viewmaster.
I would say sci-fi noir, sort of. I mean, like Blade Runner-esque, but different somehow, and in a TV series. And I know that like Altered Carbon's kind of like that, but something different. Maybe something a little less fantastical than Altered Carbon. Satsu?
I don't know. That takes some deep thought that I am not at the moment capable of.
Oh, Frosted Glass. Monkey, can you say, anybody want a peanut?
Anybody want a peanut?
Perfect. Mata Winter, Lords of the Night, how is the Singing Simian's sensual schlong?
It's wonderful, thanks.
Adonis says, did Monkey's balls finally drop?
Ask your mom.
Tetragrammaton, is that an Equilibrium reference? Thou dost excite my anal fissure. Arouse, not excite, arouse.
Arouse.
No one nowhere. Of course, he let them die in the streets. I was talking about the Crusades. Oh, that wasn't to us. I apologize. RJ Bansma, Scribe Light. Oh, Lord, here we go. Can Monkey say, me want beer?
Me want beer.
There you go, guys.
I'm not familiar with that one. I know the others.
Yeah, the peanut one I got. Let's see. Stargazer Nut says, woman says, you have a nice laugh. Men tell dick stories. Well, I like literally. I'm trying to think. I've been told by people before that I have a nice voice, which I'm always suspicious of because, like I say, and several people have, I sound like Kermit the Frog. Nice laugh. I've had people like say in instances over the course of Lords of the Night that where I've like laughed out of my mind or something. They've enjoyed that, but I don't think specifically anyone said you have a nice laugh. So that'll be a first. Ebony, you've got a first.
It's always hilarious when Scribe is like laughing his ass off. Like I always thought that was funny because it's like so straight up like that was really fucking funny. Like it's
especially when I can't like say the line straight without cracking. Sinatra says, Scribe Light, can you shill the Creepsin weekend creepypasta stream starting right after this? Perfect to listen to while you watch us kill zombies in 7 days to die. Actually, I think it'd be more appropriate if Monkey read that little promo.
Go watch his Creepsin. There you go.
Yeah, Sinatra, I think you need to like send Monkey a Streamlabs to hire him to narrate a creepypasta for you while his voice is all fucked up because it's perfect. Okay, guys, just for the sake of not wearing Monkey out, I'm not going to continually ask him to do quotes for you. Sorry.
And somebody keeps asking me to do a high-pitched voice. There's no way.
Yeah, don't.
Stop asking.
Ebony Williams, Lords of the Night, ever tried strawberry soda? Yes, my dad... my dad keeps a stock of several different kinds of sodas, and he has like Strawberry Crush amongst them, and occasionally I'll have that when I go visit.
I used to drink the strawberry Fagos all the time when I was a kid.
Oh, you're a juggalo.
In the hood, they was like 25 cents. Not
You're
no more.
Juggalo. Satsu's a juggalo. You ever had strawberry soda, Monkey?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Chat jumped. Okay. Harvest Marvelous. Do you think it'll hurt Harris if it's true that she wasn't the second class integrated at Berkeley, that she wasn't even born until the next year and at 7 went to school in Canada? Is any of that? I have no idea if any of that is true or not. I don't know Kamala Harris's personal history, so.
That's all say, Stan. Are you in good hands?
Let's see. Kathy Carpenter says, Scribe Light, your laugh is authentic. That makes it amazing. Oh, well, thank you. Tetragrammaton says, it's Greek for with 4 letters, referring to YHWH or the name, or Yahweh, the name God of the Israelites. I do love Equilibrium. Yeah, because wasn't that the name of what Christian Bale's like police officer was, like Tetragrammaton something or other? I forget now. It was something like that.
There's a skill on Final Fantasy 14 called Tetragrammaton. That's a healing spell.
That might be a reference to Equilibrium. Yeah, everybody's asking Monkey to say lines from movies in like creepy voices now. BG says, Scribe Light, I think you have more of an evil laugh than a nice one. Oh, okay.
Damn.
Sinatra says, Harris said she listened to Tupac in college. He didn't come out till she had graduated, so it wouldn't surprise me if she lied about her school-going cred LMFAO. Yeah, I don't know. If someone hasn't already if someone had already fact-checked that, I'm pretty sure that would be top news somewhere, but I don't know. Gulf City Cult of Krill, if you aren't subbed to Gulf City Cartoons, what is you even doing?
You should definitely be.
Oh,
you should be subbed.
I is doing Lords of the Night, is what I is doing. The Captain's Dog says, Lords of the Night, is your TP strong, soft, or cheap? Soft, I think.
Mostly.
Soft and strong.
I don't really compare prices, so I don't. It's probably not that cheap, but it's not like super expensive. Frosted Glass. How long before Andrew Yang and Marianne Williamson, quote unquote, get sad? Does that mean is that code for something? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a code for Hillary killing people.
Oh,
they commit suicide by shooting themselves in the back of the head a couple of times.
Let's see. Motto Winter. Lords of the Night. Why is Scribe creeped out by Monk's voice? It's just so not his voice, and it sounds, like I say, it sounds mechanically altered. I understand that it's not mechanically altered, but it sounds that way. The way it's coming out, it sounds like one of those guys on one of those crime interview shows that it's all bathed in shadow, and they're adjusting the person's voice to disguise their identity. That's what it sounds like to me. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Everybody wants you to say different things. Get their ringtones. Mr. Scott says Scribe Light, he was replaced by a robot. No, Monkey's not a robot. He's a monkey.
No, this is me.
Cynic says, "Be right back. Gonna commit Seth Rich." It's Seth Rich being like a synonym for seppuku at this point, I guess. Chicago Mike says Monkey sounds like Eeyore. I suppose
Thanks,
that's
Pooh.
Thanks, Pooh. Questions, comments, guys. Remember, after this stream over on 2 Cents Plus, you can watch Monkey and Satsu and I believe Sinatra fight zombies in 7 Days to Die. And at the same time, you can overlay that with Sinatra's latest creepypasta over on Creepsin. So you can have all types of stuff going on in your ears while you watch zombies being killed by these hooligans. Ebony Williams says, Lords of the Night, don't know if I asked this, but if you guys were in a rap group, what would your title track be and what would your album cover look like? Oh, Jesus, I don't know. My title track? My title track would probably be something called Goat Frapple. My album cover would be like my avatar in a smoking jacket, sitting in a chair in like a library den kind of thing, but out the window you see that I'm on the moon. There you
go. My title track would be called I'm Not Black.
Mm.
And the album cover would be black.
The title of my album would be called NFG, and the first song on the first track would be called Fucketry.
There you
go. Frosted Glass asks, best album cover. Oh God, I don't know.
No idea.
There was my parents had like actual like records, of course, back in the day. There was one cover to a George Carlin concert album that sticks out in my mind. I can only sort of see it was like black and white with his face in the middle and like some cartoons on either side. I don't know if that's the best album cover ever made. It probably isn't. It's the one that first comes to mind. I liked album covers from like actually I really liked Anima from Tool. With that little sort of TV screen thing going on with the what's it called, lenticular? You know that style of art where they've got that little plastic screen over it with the spikes, and depending on which way you move the thing, it changes. It looks like it's animated.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever it's called. I don't know. I forget what it's called. Anyway, that album cover I liked a lot. Do you guys have any album covers you like?
No. None stick out to me. I listen to the music. I don't pay attention to what the album cover looks like.
Tailed says, fucking moo.
I don't know that album.
Yeah, fucking moo. It's a bagpipe album. Well, Tailed, good luck on the TED Talk. I am looking forward to it. Let's see. Red Castry says Colbert apparently commented on E. Jean's story saying where there is smoke, there's fire, or something to that effect. How many stories / accusations did Bill get? Oh, he got tons. Let's not pretend that anybody took kid gloves to Bill Clinton. He got accusations left, right, and center.
The people making them didn't get interviewed on CNN though. Not until after the Monica stuff came out, and they're like, "Oh, you mean he does fuck other people?"
Okay, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Paula Jones was on Larry King Live before the Monica thing blew up. I could be mistaken. And Jennifer Flowers certainly came out before Monica.
Oh, that was because he was busted cold
Yeah.
on that one.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like I say, there was plenty of scandal regarding him and women before Monica came about, before he was president even. So, Ebony Williams, Lords of the Night, ever painted your significant other's nails? No, I haven't done that.
Yeah, once.
I've rubbed my significant other's feet and palms plenty of times, depending on who it is, but not done their nails. No, I don't think they trust me with doing their nails. Prospero says Jennifer Flowers was before the election. Yep, she was during the campaign. Let's see. Check your logic. Can I use some of these voice clips to mechanically engineer Monkey's voice? Do you need to? He's practically mechanically engineered as it is. Tailed Feature says, "Hi, Mom and Dad. Hi, Nuts. Your mommy and daddy are here. I'm scared." Yep, Tailed Feature. I'm doing a TED Talk. Tailed, you've done TED Talks before, haven't you? I seem to remember way back in the day, like early on when you and I first got to know each other, you did a TED Talk. I think you'd asked me to help you on it or something, or maybe, but it was about immigration, I think. So yeah, I mean, I've done more than my share, but you've done one before, haven't you? Let's see. No One Nowhere says worst part about streaming on DLive. I didn't have any problems with it.
I don't have any issues streaming on DLive. I like it.
Maybe lack of super chat, I suppose, but that's a minor complaint.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like most things about DLive. I guess if there was one complaint I would have is like they prioritize quality over latency.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always slightly behind YouTube.
Yeah.
Like when I dual stream, it's always slightly behind, even though the quality is better. Still, that's I wish there could be like a happy medium, but then again, I guess it could be worse. So.
Let's see. Tailed says, well remembered, Scribe. Yeah, I tend to remember things that sometimes aren't important, but sometimes are, or at least I need a trigger moment to activate such memories. Yeah, I just remember something about your video where there was like footage of, long processions of people towards the border, or maybe camping out around the border or something like that, and somebody on the stage promoting it. Or complaining about the policies. Prospero says, yes, we are Scribe Light. Cray? I'm probably fucking that up too. And I are Tailed's parents by adoption. I see. All right. Chicago Mike says, you can say ranting monkey on DLive. Oh, that's true.
That is true.
Devil Fruit Zero Scribe Light. Does that mean that Tailed is going to and or has doxed himself to do a TED Talk? No, I don't think so. And Tailed, I said this earlier when I was talking about, I mentioned you. Am I mistaken, or were you like one of the first, if not the first, of the commentary community, let's say, to even present Lindsay and Queer Kid stuff to the rest of us? Because I seem to recall that you were the first one to that, to find that, or to make it a video. I don't. Maybe I think you probably know. Frosted Glass, you have to be in the audience for Hannah Gadsby, Samantha Bee, or Amy Schumer. Which do you choose? Probably Amy Schumer, because she can sometimes be funny-ish. The other two, it'd be like fingernails on chalkboard.
She can tell other people's jokes just fine.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Terry Diamante says, Devil Fruit Zero, Tail did a video on a TED Talk. He didn't do an actual TED Talk. Yeah, when I say did a TED Talk, I mean made a commentary video on a TED Talk. if any of us actually ended up on a TED Talk, that would be something.
It would be me.
Yeah, I've been asked several times, hey, you should, Scribe, you should try to get on a TEDx talk or something. And I looked it up, or at least I looked up whatever the TEDx thing was locally. And maybe this is true for all TEDx talks. I don't know, since they're all independently produced effectively. But the process of qualifying for it, so far as I know, is you have to become a member of the local TEDx talk, like message board or something. You then have to submit an essay that is effectively your TEDx talk, your presentation. And then all the members of that group or community then vote on whomever has put their essay forward for the next TEDx talk. And then the winners of that are the top 5 or however many slots they have open, thus qualify to be on it. So I don't know if that's how it works everywhere else. I'm not even sure if I did a TEDx talk what I would do it on, except to maybe do a TEDx talk on TEDx. Let's see. Tailed Feature says, I'd do a TED talk. I'd keep the mask on. Yep. Captain's Dogs, would you rather step on a Lego once a day, have all your purchases be in clamshell packaging, or have to relearn American English? I'll take the clamshell because I can just solve that with a pair of scissors.
Right.
Yeah.
Joe McLaughlin says Scribe Light is in a crazy liberal, so he'd never be on the TED Talk. I'm in a crazy. I am currently not inserted into anyone, so. And I'm certainly not a crazy liberal, although, guys, at one point, not that long ago, I was on the liberal end of things, but things have drifted so far beyond. Now I've been made, like, I haven't moved all that much, but I have been effectively made into a left of center person rather than a more left person, because the left has gone so far off into the distance. No one, nowhere. How many stairs does it take to beat a monkey? I think 1, probably. Because that's the one he trips over. Peter, Silent Katie's 3 and 3. What is the dumbest product you can remember seeing on an infomercial? Oh,
dear God.
I've seen several. I mean, there's always the Ron Popeil pocket fisherman, which is just like the most ridiculous thing. There's some guy hawking a book or a cassette series, a tape cassette series that like taught you how to do math in your like really crazy math in your head without needing pen and paper. I don't even know if that stuff worked, but I always thought that was kind of a scam.
Snuggie.
Hey, I got Lady Monkey a Snuggie.
I'm just saying.
Okay, well, it's Slanket. I mean, it's Slanket. It's the same thing.
All you had to do is put your robe on backwards and you had a Snuggie.
It's not the same. It's bigger. A Slanket's bigger.
The shake weight.
The shake weight.
Shake weight was awesome.
Connor Johnson, thank you. Have any of you played Little Samson on the NES? That sounds familiar. I may have. I don't know. It sounds familiar to me. You guys?
No, I haven't played that.
That sounds really familiar. Midnight Exile. Ron Popeil's food dehydrator was awesome. Hey, my parents had a food dehydrator. I don't think it was a Ron Popeil brand, but that's not necessarily a bad product to have if you're into that kind of thing. Devil Fruit Zero, Scribe Light. Did YouTube say that creators have to drop their avatars soon in the announcement? Or wait, on the announcement that also said that Hangouts are going away, or is that even a thing? I hadn't heard that one. I would be surprised if that was the case.
No, they didn't say that.
And they still haven't quite clarified, like, if there's going to be anything that people can use through YouTube to live stream. I still don't quite understand why they wouldn't allow some kind of option for people to live stream with a product of their own rather than leaving it up to some kind of third-party thing. And I understand that OBS or whatever is an option, but that still seems bizarre to me if they actually end up doing that.
Probably for some liability bullshit.
Maybe. Ebony Williams says, Lords of the Night, would you rather participate in a drag show or eat 3 buckets worth of oysters all at once?
Wait, is the oyster supposed to be a punishment? Because that sounds like a really...
If I had to eat 3 buckets of oysters at once, yeah, I'll take the drag show because I'd be sick. Just not necessarily because I think I'd be poisoned because I hate oysters, but because that's a lot to take in, and I don't have a very big tummy.
I'll take the oyster.
Tail Feature says, Hangouts is being replaced by something else, I believe. Yeah, from what I was able to gather, they're ending Hangouts, which is sort of a combined chat and voice over IP kind of thing, and splitting it up into 2 programs, which I believe already exist, which is like Google Meet and Google Chat, and have them operate independently of one another. And Meet is what will effectively replace Hangouts for the sake of YouTube live streaming, I think. I don't know if it's been explicitly stated somewhere, but that's kind of what I read into things. So,
oh my god! So I'm setting up the stream or whatever, and I opened up the page so I can exit out for my Facebook. And the first thing I saw on my feed was some chick on my feed says, I haven't had sex for so long, I think I forgot how to moan. What if I accidentally bark?
Well, depending on who you're with, they might appreciate that. Tail Feature says, Google Meet, best meet. Yes. Yeah, well, you know.
I don't know. I've been fucked by Google a few times, and their meat sucks.
Well, what you do is you take Google Meet and you put it inside a Google stomach, and you get Gagus. Okay, that was bad. That was Tail. Appreciate, don't you, Tail? You appreciate that joke, don't you?
Oh my god!
I appreciate that you tried.
I tried.
Hey guys, quote: transgender athlete says, "I face disadvantage when competing against biological women." That's the transgender woman saying that they face disadvantage.
Sure.
When they compete against biological women. And then the next clip that plays is them just fucking leaving every woman in the fucking dust.
Well, you have to remember that period empowers them. So.
Tail says in response to my joke, an attempt was made. Thank you.
I agree, Tailed. You are a gentleman and a scholar.
Let's see. Somebody said something. Where'd it go? Oh, it jumped.
Okay, Google.
It jumped. Uh-oh. Good job, monkey. Let's see. BG. Yes, Scribe is very trying. Oh, now come on. There's no need to do that. Jeez.
There's no need not to either.
Oh, shush you. Duck Dog says, Gator is boring, calamari is great. I've had alligator sausage before. I thought it tasted great. Well, and El Vaquero 5555, what is the most exotic / strangest kinds of meat you've tried? I've had alligator, I've had buffalo, and I mean, I can't call it meat per se, but it was another kind of creature. Chocolate-covered crickets.
The weirdest meat I've ever ate is deer. I'm boring when it comes to my food. I like shit I can identify and that is sold in a store.
Yeah, me too. I've only had a buffalo burger before.
Thank you, Captain's Dogs. Monkey's new Lords of the Night handle, Lord of Panty Drops. Oh boy.
What you out there doing?
Yeah, stroke that ego a bit more, guys. Ebony Williams says, Scribe is the second best Lord of the Night. Oh, okay. I see how it is. Duck Dog says, Scribe like barbecue grasshoppers are better. I hadn't had those. Chocolate covered crunchy things. It was like little Twix bar deals. Devil Fruit says, Scribe like that's protein. Yep, it's just, crickets or dried crickets are just protein. Sassy Ghost says, I've had grizzly bear. Angry Illinois seen kangaroo or crocodile.
In Soviet Russia, grizzly bear have you.
And Jack Gutsky says, Scribe is my favorite because he reads my ads for free, no less. Tail Future says, what am I Lord of again? I think we said what Picts. You're the Lord of the Picts, or
It changes every fucking time.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Lord of Pedagogy because you were a former teacher or something. I don't know. What do you like? Whatever you like. But with that, guys, trying to decipher whatever Tails' Lord name was. We're at the top of the hour, and thus the end of the show. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us, as you guys always do. And thank you for humoring us over the last 2 nights where we kind of went off script, but it was fun anyway. I was glad to have you guys around. And everybody who came over to D Live and like pumped up Satsu's D Live channel, thank you so much. Remember, after this over on 2 Cents Plus, you can watch Monkey and Satsu and Sinatra run around and fighting zombies and trying to survive in 7 Days to Die. You can also boot up a separate tab with Sinatra's Creepsin channel and listen to the latest creepypasta while they fight zombies. Might be a good pairing. Remember, as always, guys, tomorrow night, per usual, will be on Monkey's channel at the regular time. Who knows what tempo his voice will be in then? You'll just have to wait and find out.
Hopefully, I can talk.
There's that too. Yeah. And other than that, anything else we need to mention or plug before we go?
No, we are doing a giveaway, guys. Tonight is giveaway night over on 2 Cents Plus, and the summer sale is going on. So
that's right, Steam summer sale. So go check that out, guys. But elsewise, everyone. I should say. Hold on. Let me back up a little bit. I'm getting out of order again. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience is the best behaved in the world. Everyone who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. And with that, Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
Pleasure.
Everyone, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
okay.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Hey, Snoot.
Oh, and today's secret word is baritone.
Baritone.